Have you ever noticed how some people seem to effortlessly claim everything they desire while others struggle, year after year, trapped in the same cycle of failure? Here's a hard truth. Your weaknesses are not minor flaws. They're silent saboteurs, working against you constantly, quietly stealing your power. Most people assume weakness is an inherent trait. That's wrong. Weakness is a choice. Every time you accept it, you choose powerlessness. Machiavelli understood a reality that society today tries to bury. Everyone sees your fight, but very few encounter your true capabilities. Life doesn't reward good intentions. It rewards clarity, discipline, strategy, and results. Today, I'm going to guide you step by step on how to detect the hidden weaknesses undermining your life and eliminate them before they wreck everything you're striving for. But before we dive in, ask yourself this. What if everything you've been taught about kindness, patience, and politeness was actually designed to keep you controllable? Number 1, weakness is conditioned, not natural. Weakness is not a natural trait. It is taught, installed, and reinforced from the earliest moments of your life. You were not born powerless. Powerlessness was carefully implanted in your mind. Think back. From your first memories, the world conditioned you to apologize, even when you had done nothing wrong. You were told to be nice, even when it meant shrinking yourself. You were trained to put everyone else first, while quietly erasing your own needs. Ambition was framed as selfish, confidence as arrogance, excellence as threatening. Mediocrity was glorified because everyone's doing their best. Wanting more than the next person became something to feel guilty about. From the start, you were taught that your desires, your potential, and your boundaries were negotiable, optional, and, most dangerously, something to hide. This is not education. This is programming, and it is not harmless. Every rule, every expectation, every subtle lesson was designed to produce predictable, compliant individuals. People who follow orders, accept mediocrity, and never challenge the system. Society has always needed this, a population that can be managed, manipulated, and controlled. Look around at your own life. How does this conditioning play out in your daily existence? You reach for your phone the instant you wake up, letting the priorities, messages, and demands of others hijack your mind before you've even decided what matters to you today. You agree to commitments that drain you, not because they are important, but because saying no triggers discomfort, awkwardness, or imagined guilt. Each yes to something unwanted is a silent no to your own potential, a subtle theft of your time, energy, and life. You downplay your wins, your intelligence, your abilities, just to make others feel comfortable, as if your success were a crime. You avoid conflict at all costs, letting minor disagreements snowball into major crises because it feels easier to ignore than to confront. Machiavelli wrote, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must be both a lion and a fox." Right now, you've been trained to be neither. You've been trained to be prey. Every time you avoid confrontation, accept less than you deserve, or excuse the disrespect of others, you reinforce the very programming that keeps you powerless. You are teaching yourself helplessness and teaching others how to treat you. The most insidious part of all this conditioning is that it convinces you that putting yourself first is selfish, that setting boundaries is cruel, and that striving for more than others is greedy. It frames ambition as a moral failing. And the worst part? The people who taught you these rules almost never follow them themselves. Look at the successful people around you. Did they get where they are by constantly apologizing? By shrinking to make others feel safe? By quietly tolerating disrespect and mediocrity? No. They broke the programming. They challenged convention. They embraced discomfort. They pursued their goals with relentless precision, without asking permission, without seeking approval. Here's the truth. Once you see the programming for what it is, you gain the ability to dismantle it. You begin to recognize that almost every societal rule about politeness, patience, and compliance was built to suppress your natural power. Begin questioning every belief you were taught about what is acceptable behavior. Does it genuinely serve your life? Or does it keep you small, predictable, and controllable? When someone calls your growth intimidating or threatening, don't shrink. See it as the recognition that you are rising beyond the limitations they were taught to accept. When someone tells you to be realistic, do not immediately obey. Ask yourself, are they protecting me, or simply protecting themselves from the possibility that I could surpass them? The moment you begin identifying these invisible chains, you reclaim control. Every boundary you set, every ambition you pursue, unapologetically, every truth you own, becomes a small act of rebellion against the programming that has been running your life for decades. The path is uncomfortable. It is isolating at times. It is frightening. But it is also liberating, because finally, you begin to operate not according to the rules designed to contain you, but according to your own power, your own strategy, your own vision. From here, weakness is no longer a default. It becomes a choice. And, like any choice, it can be reversed. You can teach yourself strength, resilience, and self-respect. You can become the lion who recognizes traps, the fox who outsmarts predators. You can transform from someone who is controlled to someone who commands. And once you do, you'll notice a shift in the world around you. People stop taking liberties. Opportunities start to reveal themselves. And the life you were conditioned to accept becomes the life you actively create. Number 2, weakness invites exploitation. Here's a truth most people refuse to acknowledge. In life, there are only 2 types of people: those who take what they want, and those who are left with what others discard. There's no middle ground. There's no reward for being nice or patient. If those qualities keep you invisible, powerless, or predictable, weakness isn't just an internal flaw. It's an announcement. It's a neon sign flashing to the world. I am easily controlled. I am negotiable. I can be taken advantage of. Look closely at the workplace. Who advances faster? The person who silently grinds away, hoping their effort is noticed, or the person who positions themselves strategically, ensuring their value is undeniable and visible? The first one works harder, but the world doesn't reward effort alone. It rewards results that are recognized, influence that cannot be ignored, and presence that can't be discounted. Opportunities gravitate toward those who make their contributions unavoidable, not toward those who quietly toil in the shadows. Now consider personal relationships. Who holds the real power? The person who endlessly sacrifices, bends, and apologizes to maintain harmony, or the one who understands their worth, sets clear boundaries, and refuses to tolerate disrespect? The world does not reward the endlessly accommodating. It respects those who signal, through their actions and choices, that their time, their energy, and their dignity are non-negotiable. Every act of weakness, hesitation when you should act, over-apologizing for your existence, acquiescing to demands that go against your interests, is a lesson to others. It teaches them what they can get away with. It tells them that your boundaries are fluid, your time is disposable, and your goals are negotiable. They test you, nudging further each time. Your ambition is mocked. Your contributions are minimized. Your opinions are dismissed. Your presence is undervalued. And over time, if unchecked, this pattern erodes your confidence, your authority, and your very sense of self. People do not respect what is easily obtained or easily controlled. They respect what is untouchable, what is firm, what is anchored in non-negotiable standards. They respect someone whose word, their time, and their space are sacred. They fear, not in a sense of terror, but in a profound recognition that crossing you carries consequences. This is the type of fear Machiavelli spoke of when he said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Fear is not cruelty. Fear is authority. Fear is the knowledge that your boundaries are absolute and that they cannot be crossed without cost. Think about it. When you display weakness, you are teaching others how to dominate you. Your indecision signals opportunity. Your hesitation is leverage in their hands. Your constant need for approval is a map showing exactly how to influence you. But strength works differently. Strength commands attention without arrogance. It safeguards your life without aggression. It sets limits that cannot be tested without consequences. It communicates that your time, energy, and priorities are non-negotiable. Strength doesn't require explanation. It doesn't beg for recognition. It simply exists, and others learn to respect it. This principle extends to every corner of your life. In negotiations, weakness costs you. In friendships, weakness invites exploitation. In careers, weakness guarantees stagnation. The people who achieve extraordinary success are those who master this principle. They understand the magnetic power of non-negotiability. They do not wait for others to grant them influence. They assert it. They do not rely on approval for confidence. They rely on their standards. They do not tolerate disrespect because they understand that every compromise without consequence erodes their authority and opportunities. Drop this affirmation and internalize it. I choose respect over approval, strength over comfort. Let it guide your actions. Each decision, each boundary, each refusal is a step toward becoming untouchable. Because the moment you stop allowing others to dominate you, the moment you stop apologizing for existing and begin demanding recognition for your worth, you begin to shift the balance of power in your life. You become the person others notice, not because you seek attention, but because your presence itself commands it. Remember, strength does not need to shout. It does not need to threaten. It does not need to explain itself. Strength is felt. It is measured in the clarity of your boundaries, the consistency of your actions, and the refusal to allow your life to be dictated by anyone else's agenda. Weakness invites manipulation. Strength creates respect. And respect, quiet, uncompromising, inevitable respect, is the foundation of influence, freedom, and unstoppable power. Number 3, comfort is the silent killer of potential. Comfort is seductive. It whispers in your ear that everything is fine, that the easy path is safe, that staying in your routine is responsible. It lures you into predictability, into days that feel controlled but achieve nothing. It convinces you that avoiding risk is wisdom and avoiding discomfort is prudence. But here's the brutal truth. Comfort is weakness. The softer the life, the duller your edge. The easier the path, the less capable, less resilient, and less powerful you become. Look around you. How many people do you know whose lives have barely changed in 5 years? Same jobs, same frustrations, same failed attempts at growth, same compromises, same limitations. That is not coincidence. That is comfort at work, quietly eroding potential, silently suffocating ambition. Comfort does not just stop you from growing, it kills. It kills ambition before it can ignite. It kills skill by depriving it of challenge. It kills confidence by allowing doubt to fester. It kills opportunity by keeping you in predictable patterns, waiting for things to fall into place while the world moves on without you. Dreams do not die dramatically. They decay quietly in comfort, one easy choice at a time. Skills atrophy when they are never tested. Confidence shrinks when it is never challenged. Opportunities disappear when risk becomes intolerable. Life will reward neither talent nor effort. if you refuse to leave the predictable, safe, and comfortable path. The greatest chances, those that transform lives, are almost always inconvenient, risky, and uncomfortable. And the sad truth is, most people will never take them. Machiavelli once said, "Whoever wishes to foresee the future must consult the past, for human events ever resemble those of preceding times." Look at history, look at those around you, and you'll see the pattern is undeniable. Those who avoid discomfort today create suffering for themselves tomorrow. Avoid hard conversations, and you are trapped in relationships that slowly erode your self-respect. Avoid career risks, and the ambitious, younger, hungrier competitors will surpass you, taking opportunities that could have been yours. Avoid physical challenges, and your body eventually betrays your ambitions. Avoid emotional challenges, and your life feels safe, but empty, shallow, and unremarkable. Every person you admire, every leader, every entrepreneur, every high achiever has learned to embrace discomfort. They answer the calls that scare them. They have the conversations that terrify them. They make the moves that everyone else hesitates to take. They act before they feel ready, and they persist when most would quit. Discomfort is not an obstacle to them. It is a tool, a weapon, a signal that growth, power, and influence are within reach if they are willing to endure temporary unease. Consider this: the discomfort you avoid today compounds into the challenges you will face tomorrow. Every difficult conversation you skip creates resentment. Every risk you decline becomes a missed opportunity. Every challenge you evade strengthens fear and weakens resolve. Every time you cling to comfort, you reinforce a version of yourself that is small, safe, and forgettable. But the reverse is also true. The more you embrace discomfort, the stronger you become. The more you willingly enter situations that scare you, the more confident you feel in every other area of life. The more you challenge yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, the more capable you become of handling anything that life throws at you. The more you step into risk, the more opportunities start to notice you. Growth does not come from ease. It comes from the deliberate choice to act when comfort screams stay. Drop this affirmation and own it. I embrace discomfort as the price of my evolution. Let it guide every decision. Let it push you to take the call, confront the problem, chase the opportunity, and move forward even when fear says stop. Comfort is safe. Growth is dangerous. Weakness clings to ease. Strength thrives in challenge. Choose wisely. Choose discomfort. Choose evolution. Number 4. The 4 lies that sabotage power. Let's pull back the curtain and expose the deceptions that society has been feeding you your entire life. These lies are subtle, disguised as wisdom or morality, but they exist for one purpose: to keep you small, compliant, and predictable. They are not harmless. They are shackles disguised as guidance. Lie 1. Good things come to those who wait. This is one of the most dangerous lies of all. Waiting is not virtue. It is paralysis. The world does not reward patience. It rewards decisive action. While you wait for the right moment, someone else is moving faster, taking what could have been yours, and leaving you with the leftovers. Waiting is comfort disguised as morality. Waiting is the quiet thief of opportunity. Think about every missed promotion, every business deal that slipped through your fingers, every chance you didn't seize because you thought the timing wasn't perfect. This is the cost of waiting. Action creates results. Hesitation ensures stagnation. Lie 2. Everyone deserves respect. Respect is not a birthright. Respect is a currency, and like any currency, it has value only when earned. Giving it indiscriminately diminishes your own worth. When you show respect to people who do not deserve it, you signal that your boundaries are negotiable, that your standards are optional, It trains others to undervalue you, to take advantage of your goodwill, and to assume that your energy and time are disposable. Respect must be selective. It is not universal. It is not owed. It is claimed, defended, and reinforced. Lie 3. Just be yourself, and people will like you. This one sounds comforting, but it's a trap. The wrong version of yourself will attract the wrong people, the passive, the manipulative, the mediocre. And the right version of yourself, the ambitious, unapologetically strong version, will make some people uncomfortable. That's exactly the point. The right people, the people who align with your growth, will either step up or step aside. You are not here to make everyone comfortable with your eyes. You are here to become the person who commands respect, influence, and results. Lie 4. Everything happens for a reason. This is the ultimate tool of victimhood. Believing this lie trains you to surrender agency, to wait passively for fate to decide your life. Reality is far simpler and far more brutal. Things happen because of choices, yours and others. Events unfold not because of some cosmic plan, but because actions were taken or avoided. Accepting this truth means reclaiming control. It means looking at setbacks not as divine punishment, but as signals, opportunities to adjust strategy, to act differently, to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Machiavelli reminded us, everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. These lies are masks. They shape how you appear to the world, often in ways that undermine your true potential. Stop letting them dictate your behavior. Stop allowing them to justify inaction, passivity, and weakness. Each of these deceptions was designed to make you comfortable, to keep you compliant, to make you predictable. But comfort is weakness. Compliance is vulnerability. Predictability is a liability. Here's what you do. Identify the lies you've been believing. Question every comfortable notion that asks you to shrink, wait, or appease. Replace them with principles that produce power, influence, and results. Embrace the uncomfortable truths. Action over waiting. Earned respect over blind respect. Authentic strength over false appeasement. Agency over victimhood. The world rewards those who see clearly, act decisively, and refuse to be defined by illusions. Drop this affirmation and make it real. I reject comfortable lies and embrace uncomfortable truths. Let it guide your choices. Let it sharpen your boundaries. Let it fuel your ambition. Lies make life easier to endure, but truth makes life conquerable. Choose truth, and power follows. Number 5. Replace emotion with strategy. Most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they surrender their decisions to fleeting emotions. Anger, fear, doubt, excitement, they all feel urgent in the moment, and most people allow these feelings to dictate their choices. Then they rationalize those choices after the fact, telling themselves, I had no other option, or it felt right at the time. That's how mediocrity spreads. That's how potential is wasted. The truly effective, influential, and powerful do the exact opposite. They make the decision logically first, strategically first, and then regulate their emotions around it. They let calculation lead, emotion follow. Consider the scenarios you face every day. Someone disrespects you. Your immediate impulse is to react with anger, to lash out, to defend yourself. But the strategic mind asks, which response will serve my long-term advantage? Should I respond now, or hold my position to gain leverage later? Should I confront them directly, or let their actions reveal more about their intentions? Logic overrides impulse. An opportunity appears, something new, risky, exciting. Fear rises, doubt whispers, what if I fail? The instinctive reaction is hesitation, procrastination, or avoidance. The calculated mind weighs risk versus reward. It evaluates potential gains, losses, and the probability of success. It does not eliminate fear. It uses it as data. Someone tries to manipulate you, bending reality to suit their agenda. Your first thought may be uncertainty, confusion, even guilt. The strategic mind interrogates the situation. What are they really after? What leverage are they seeking? How do I turn this situation to my advantage? Emotion informs. Calculation decides. Here's the brutal reality. Emotional decisions make you reactive. Reactivity is predictable, manipulable, and exhausting. People who act on impulse leave themselves vulnerable to those who act strategically. Strategic decisions, on the other hand, make you powerful. They conserve energy, protect your resources, direct your efforts toward meaningful gains, and secure your control over situations others treat as crises. Machiavelli said it best: the wise man does at once what the fool does eventually. The wise calculate first, then act decisively. The fool reacts first, then suffers the consequences. Timing, calculation, and emotional discipline are the weapons of the strong. Do not mistake this approach for coldness or lack of feeling. Strategic calculation is not the absence of emotion. It is the harnessing of emotion. Let feelings inform you about what matters, what triggers you, and what potential risks exist, but never let them dictate your actions. Let logic be the authority. Let your mind decide. Let your emotions provide intelligence, not control. For example, your emotion tells you someone's behavior is intolerable. Your calculation determines whether confronting them now will create leverage, or whether patience will yield a bigger advantage. Your emotion tells you an opportunity excites you. Your calculation evaluates whether it is worth the investment, or whether it's a distraction from your long-term goals. Your emotion tells you someone hurt you. Your calculation decides whether confrontation or strategic patience maximizes your position. This is the subtle difference between mediocrity and mastery. Most people react. They let emotions drive, logic follow, and then complain when life punishes them. Masters calculate. They let logic lead, emotion inform, and then execute with precision. One is predictable, weak, and vulnerable. The other is deliberate, unstoppable, and respected. Drop this affirmation and internalize it. I am the master of my emotions, not their slave. Let it guide your decisions. Let it protect your energy. Let it give you the clarity to act strategically in every interaction, every opportunity, and every challenge. Because power is not given, it is calculated, claimed, and maintained. Number 6. Master strategic detachment. Attachment is vulnerability. The more desperate you are for a specific outcome, the more predictable and therefore manipulable you become. Approval, opportunity, relationships. Attachment gives others power. Strategic detachment means desiring the best outcome, but preparing for any result. Machiavelli said, the promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. Always have alternatives. Never let a single decision hold your future hostage. Detachment gives freedom, improves judgment, and multiplies leverage. Drop this affirmation: my peace comes from within, not external validation. Number 7. Become the consequence. Finally, the most important lesson: stop explaining, justifying, and apologizing to those who will never understand or respect you. You are not here to shrink so others feel bigger. You are here to execute your purpose fully. Machiavelli said, it is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. Your value is measured by actions, not opinions. Become the presence that commands respect without declaration. Become the person whose results speak louder than words. Become the individual who doesn't need to defend choices. Their success defends itself. True power is quiet. True confidence is unprovable. True success doesn't need witnesses. You become the consequence others must contend with, not through aggression, but through the undeniable reality of who you are. Today, you've learned that weakness is a strategic liability, not a personality flaw. You've uncovered how conditioning keeps you compliant, how comfort kills potential, and how lies keep most people powerless. You've discovered the power of calculation over emotion, detachment over desperation, and how to become the consequence in a world obsessed with appearances. This is not cruelty. This is strength. This is strategy. This is your unshakable path to the life you deserve. If this transformed the way you see weakness, hit like, subscribe, and commit to changing habits that steal your power. Your weakness is not your identity. It's a behavior, and behaviors can be rewired, starting today.